gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire. Angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dark scope, the two-piece! Oh, that's a He's gonna be able to take out. Oh my god! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock.
Já pegou bala na cara do Master. O Almairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. Vai tentar o tiro porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas...
Square on the body that you hit. He no-scoped for a follow right there. He no-scoped. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another day, the last day, actually, of Mobile Mayhem Fall 2021 EU edition. It's your boy Verdict, as always, with me today in the right side of your screen there. Looking all handsome, muy guapo there with the HyperX Quadcast gear going along with it. The smile to kill. My guy, Gil. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. It's going good. A bit of a long day, but you know, getting ready for what is going to be the last matches of the regular season here on the Mobile Mayhem.
Oh, bro, we have a jam-packed day. As a matter of fact, we were talking a little bit about it before stream started, and we've got 5 series of the day. You know, it's only right that we're only going to see 4 of them. The 5th will be played off stream. Very unfortunate, but hey, getting down to the nitty-gritty, we're actually going to be getting into some playoffs next week. Next Tuesday is going to be a smoking hot day, and this schedule that I'm looking at right now actually looking pretty sweaty as well.
With all of today's matches, it should be plenty of actions for us to see. Okay. We have here, for starters, Aphelion going up against Bunker Esports. That although they are gonna be the teams that joined the last here with us, they have shown to us like their level of competition is just really high at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Aphelion Bunker making those last-minute entries. They're going to be our first game of the night. Nova Esports and Qlash. This one's going to have a lot of weight to it, as Qlash looking for a playoff berth. We'll take a look at that when the standings are shown. Meseeks EU on the slow decline, going to be taking on Gallant Esports. That's going to be a big matchup as well. May not be as competitive as, you know, say the third one, but, or the fourth one, I'm sorry, but it has a lot of implication as we take a look at the standings here momentarily. Stamina and Anarchy. This is going to be our highlight match of the night. A great way to end the regular season. And Aphelion and Illuminati EU. Aphelion obviously getting that second chance at life for the Stage 5 invite. They are going to be going up against Illuminati EU. And just to give you guys some context, Illuminati is actually a rebrand or a rename from Noxious Blood. So that is not a new team in the mix. That's just a new name in the mix. So very interesting to see how that one pans out. Obviously, Aphelion have a shot at the playoffs. They're going to be in one of the top spots now as I'm taking a look. Standings looking pretty crisp to begin with. On top, you've got Stamina, who are unbeaten this season. They've lost 2 maps. And that was against Nova Esports 1 and Gallant Esports 2. They're going to have to take on Anarchy as our 4th and final matchup, our highlight matchup of the day. We're going to be keeping an eye on how that series goes. And it is going to be major for Anarchy because if you look at the bottom slot of, or the 6th and 7th slot, Qlash and Gallant still fighting for a spot as well as Anarchy. So this is a tough day. Qlash, if Qlash is able to clip out Nova in any shape, form, or fashion, I just can't believe that we could possibly see this scenario pan out to where a returning champion is not going to be in a playoff spot. Gil, thoughts?
Well, on that one specifically, I am really intrigued to see how that's gonna work out. Of course, we know that Nova, like you mentioned, have had an amazing performance in multiple matches, and well, Qlash have had a couple of those too, but is their final last chance to get themselves. But against Nova, I'm not too sure how that's gonna work out. It's gonna be interesting to see how much they can play it out. I'm thinking that maybe when we eventually go for that search and destroy is when Qlash is gonna have one of their moments where they could shine the most and potentially get us to a third one. But yeah, I feel like in a way, to me, that feels like the match of the day, and in a way, it could be as well as Meseeks against Gallant, purely because Gallant is also at risk that if somehow we see Qlash actually beating Nova, it would be Gallant Esports on the top 7. So back-to-back games that are gonna be really important for both Qlash and Gallant.
Yeah, this is gonna be a spicy day, bro. I'm already geared up. I grabbed my drinks, I got my snacks. I know you guys are as well. We're going to dive into our first series of the night, which I've got the best of 3 up on screen now for you guys to check out. We actually going to kick things off with a Hardpoint Hackeyard, followed up by a Search and Destroy on Standoff. If it does go to a Game 3, we're going to see a raid Domination. Map vetoes are Aphelion banning Summit, as well as Nova Esports banning Crossfire. Interesting. Operator vetoes, Annihilator and Sparrow, both going to be out of the mix. That means we are 100% chance of seeing kinetic armor. You know, go Mighty Power Rangers. These guys are going to transform. You're going to see those gold members on screen. You already know what they're capable of. They get that extra boost of health, and that's going to be absolutely crucial to the OBJ department of these games, as we're going to get geared up for it to start. We've got listed ins for both teams, Aphelion and Bunker. I'm thinking that we should go ahead and get geared up for it. I'm ready. I know Gil's ready. Teams look like they are ready. Everyone's in their spots. Everyone's ready to rock and roll.
Seems like one player specifically is not ready, and that's Toto. Toto's bleeding. Oh no!
Who is Toto?
Apparently, Toto is the coach playing instead of Lydia.
Oh, interesting.
Plenty of stuff going on there for,
you know what?
for them.
I'm totally reading Discord, and I'm totally asking that question as if I didn't just read that. Obviously, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and I saw it in chat where Caesar was like, hey, wait, our new player is having a nosebleed. Our new player is also our coach, so that makes sense. 2 minutes before we get started on it, as I didn't even get a chance to take a look at the standings properly. So we'll pull that back up for everyone to look at, kind of get an idea of how big today is going to be as we are winding down the fall 2021 season. Regular league play is going to be out the door after this. It is up to these teams to put their mark on the board, and going to be an interesting one. So Nova sitting right there at 135. They're comfortably in a second place spot. So these two teams, Stamina and Nova, regardless of the outcome of the day, are going to be 1 and 2 seeds. That's huge. Aphelion is also guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, as I don't believe there's any way possible for anybody, even if they lose their match today and everyone else on the bottom half win out, there's no way that they're going to get bunked out of the top 6. So Qlash really have a lot to lose here today. Meseeks EU 85 points. I think they're sitting pretty comfortably as well. Meseeks, yeah. I believe Meseeks actually beat Qlash.
They're safe.
They're safe. Okay,
because so we have Gallant and Qlash, so yeah.
There we go. Anarchy on the chopping block.
Yeah, Anarchy. Yeah, Anarchy also got to make sure that they secure their game, because if results may come to be in favor of both Qlash and Gallant, they would have to win that game against Stamina, which we know is not an easy task either.
No, it's not. But the good thing is for Anarchy, all you have to do is take one map. And the reason why I say that is because Anarchy actually beat Qlash in the regular season. And even if Qlash somehow miraculously pull a 2-0 over Nova Esports, they're going to be sitting at 85 points tied together, which is actually going to put Qlash, or not Qlash, but Gallant Esports on the mix. So Anarchy take down Qlash in the regular season. That's going to be, the tiebreaker. So if they both end with 85 points in the regular season, the team who won the actual encounter is going to be the determining factor of who has the precedence. And without further ado, game number 1, as I just mentioned, Hardpoint Hackeyard.
Yeah, and well, like you mentioned, there's so much stuff that we gotta keep our eyes open to make sure that we're on track with how the movement goes today on that leaderboard. In this first game, initial control was over at Aphelion, but immediately the Bunker Esports got there inside, appears under fight. Both teams trying to gain some sort of control. The one that I see in it for Aphelion, one of them is gonna be Captain using the KRM. We're gonna see that Shotgun taking an appearance yet again after Miney here. He takes 1 kill, goes for the second one. His allies help him out. Aphelion took the control over that first hardpoint, and although Bunker are trying with everything they have, it's being quite tough. This Shotgun, in these specific angles, like, it's tough to take it out of there.
No, yeah, it is absolutely. The only thing is the KRM, if it's not, like, dead center, it's not a one-shot. So it's going to do a lot of damage, but ultimately it's not going to inflict too much, as we see him get taken down. 3 kills on board so far for the guys. Captain over here at Aphelion, as rocking a 3-2. They got spawns for new, and there's the first push here for the guys over at Bunker Esports. It's going to be initially declined. 2 players on the left flank. Right side going to be 3 players pushing up, as the spawns are not going to be flipped. AE actually have a phenomenal hold here. Got great perimeter control, and this is going to be time for them to rack up some uncontested time. As I see Cosmos gets the first trade in favor of Bunker Esports, but it's not going to amount to much, because I do see that player actually spawning right on the opposite side of the tire shop. So P1, a big W for Aphelion. P2, already a big W for them. There's only 15 seconds left, and that is Murder She Wrote. That is going to be Bunker Esports biting the dust here and moving on to P3.
One of those starts of a hardpoint match that you dream of. Almost 100 points given to the side of Aphelion. 88 to 20. 23 went up, 24 there. The third point is, of course, going to be even harder for any of these teams to gain some continuous control over. But Aphelion have done it already twice, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. In fact, Greek just got inside of the OVJ, going to be using the MX9, a few trophy systems in. Their allies are helping him out. And now, as he's the only player inside from all different angles, Bunker trying to get in. But Aphelion just feel like the dominant squad over here. No way for them to get in. Greek got another kill. His allies are helping out. The push comes over from all different angles, but Greek was ready with that shield. Used it, and now that's a 4-piece for himself. Amazing job done. The streaks are now for Aphelion, absolutely controlling this game number 1.
Oh, absolutely. They've got a 100+ point advantage. They've done great on their rotations. The gunfights, when they're important, are absolutely on point. Aphelion racking up a ton of points off of the first 3 hills, and now we're going to be looking at Bunker to answer back, and I just don't know if they're going to have it in them. Cosmo's going to be on objective. He's going to find 2. Barrage going to be a casualty. Greek going to be taken down. The push comes outside of the zone. Kel in danger. Bless going to be coming from the backside. P4 is started up, but I don't see too much traction control. Actually, I do see 3 players on point. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, where's Bunker and why are they not on the point? You need every bit. You need a firm 60 seconds. I don't care how you get it. I don't care how you do it. It just needs to happen. And I do see Toto, the coach, actually putting his foot on the objective. And that is going to be some OP plays. But I do see a Goliath coming through for Greek. That could actually be a massive factor because we don't have Sparrows. We don't have Annihilators. How much are these guys going to take this Goliath out?
Yes, so problematic now. Even harder for Bonkers to take that Goliath out. The fight continues to break in. Toto got taken out, and so did everybody else. They need less than 15 points, and I think this game is just over with. Not in this Hardpoint, purely because the time is gonna run out sooner than they would have liked to. So that's a good part for Bonkers. They may try to get there first, and the Goliath is gonna take quite a while. Problem is that even without the Goliath, Aphelion gains control. Kill gonna be using that shield and taking that double kill. That's gonna be the end of game number 1. 150 to 46. Aphelion, with those 2 single first hard points, just absolutely controlled that. They only had to go with for a couple more and took the victory right off the bat for them.
Yeah, they did. As we take a look at the post-Mayhem scorecard here, and my God, dude, talking about some Mayhem here in game number 1, 150 to 46. Aphelion came out swinging. Massive points in 1, 2, and 3. The rotations were there. The guys were executing to the fullest extent, and Bunker, we'll give him a slide here because Toto is the coach. He's not a fit, technically. Lydia in that spot could have been a different factor, but you know what? I'm starting to think maybe having a fit would have not even changed the outcome of this mix because, you know, you're looking at the other players on the team. It just wasn't a massive contribution. There was no kind of rotations. There was no kind of chemistry going into that P2 transition. As a matter of fact, I think they only were able to pick up the last 6 seconds. That's a fail, bro. The break has to come in a little earlier. You got to figure it out. Regardless of who you got in the mix, 4 players should be able to produce at least a little bit of traction on a break on that P2 bunker or a bunker site tire shop. It just wasn't there for Bunker, and Aphelion able to capitalize on it. They're going to have a 150 to 46 win and a 1-0 lead in the series. That was a little bit of a travesty there for the guys who were bunkers.
And as we are done with the first game, so are some others. We got some updates on Discord, Verdict. Do you want to tell us?
Oh, yeah. So, live update, Aphelion and Illuminati EU are actually done with their first game. That was a Hardpoint Summit, and Aphelion just absolutely obliterated Illuminati. 150 to 28. We thought we saw a beatdown here. That was not the case. Aphelion obviously bringing the smackdown in that first game, but we'll give you live updates as that comes to us. Ronan going to give us the updates as soon as we do. We're going to relay those to you, as obviously Aphelion don't have any kind of stress going in today, so obviously the implication of this match doesn't have much for the outcome of the season for them. So they came in, they were 25 points deep about 2 weeks ago. They've got 90 now to be exact. Looking to get that extra 15 points. They could very well do it off stream, but less about that, more about this. We're going to be getting geared up for game number 2. It's going to be a search or destroy on Standoff. Now is the best time for Bunker Esports to show up. Obviously, these two teams don't have anywhere near the points to get the playoffs, but this is a time for them to come together as a unit and make sure that they are on the same page and make sure that they stick to, getting better and progressively building that team chemistry as Bunker Esports filling in later on in the season. This is an opportunity for them to build that team that could be a contender for next season.
Yeah, for Asylum it's both style points and the seating as well, because like the seating is something that can affect in a way depending on who you are gonna be going up against. So that could be also another strategy for Asylum to be looking up for. But what is concerning to us for the time being is going to be that game of Search and Destroy and Standoff that you mentioned. That is gonna be the game between Aphelion and Bunkers that I'm intrigued about what we can see on this game number 2, purely because, as we know, Bunkers unfortunately not having Lydia is not the best case scenario. But at the same time, like you mentioned, it was just also part of it because Lydia was not here, but also Aphelion. They were playing great. Like even with the help of Lydia, I'm not sure if Bunkers could have had the chance against Aphelion here.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made a difference. I'm gonna be honest with you. Aphelion came in like a wrecking ball. They just did not stop with the devastation and the destruction. They were on point. Got to give a shout out to Aphelion. I was talking to, I believe it was Kel, in one of my personal streams earlier in the week, and I was like, bro, you know what you got to do? You guys got to stick together and build that chemistry. You got a lot of talent to work with. You got a lot of raw potential to mold into what could be a great team to produce in this EU seed. And the main priority should be sticking together and working on that chemistry because it's not going to come overnight. As a matter of fact, a lot of these teams, they were on, the players were on other teams to begin with. I know Nova is a clash of multiple top talents as they just continue to acquire player after player. That time will come for teams like Aphelion. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is the fact that they stay together and they progress together. That would be the most advantageous. And you even take a look at some of the other top teams. Stamina, bro, they've been probably the only team in EU who has remained consistent since I've been here. As a matter of fact, they only have added 1 or 2 players and dropped 1 or 2 players. And I've been here for almost a year. It's February I started casting Mobile Mayhem EU, and it is November now, so we're 9 months deep, man. This is wild. Stamina,
Long time.
Yeah, exactly. This is a long time, guys. We're getting to a year marker for casting Mobile Mayhem, guys. I just saw in stream that we are asking to see the schedule again. I posted it there for you guys to see as well. But just for a visual reference, Aphelion and Bunker is our matchup right now. Nova Esports and Qlash going to be a stout one as well. Meseeks EU and Gallant Esports. Going to be a tough one. Meseeks obviously on that slow decline, and Gallant Esports kind of also in the same category. I'm going to be honest with you, but the amount of talent that Gallant has, there's no doubt that they should take that series in regards to that matchup. They have proven to be a top-tier team, continuing to prove to be a top-tier team, even with, a little bit of, in-house issues that they're fixing along the way. I don't know what the plans are down the road, but definitely a team to keep your eyes on. Stamina and Anarchy is going to be where we actually cap the night off with. Going to be our highlighted match of the night. And, of course, Aphelion and Illuminati off stream. So, I think we're geared up for game number 2. Is everybody ready to go? Nope. Todos is going to leave the lobby.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe Lydia was going to be joining us, but okay, so it seems like unfortunately the situation with Toto couldn't get better, it seems like.
There we go. So it does look like we're going to have a 4v5 in the mix. Due to medical reasons, it is going to be a 4v5. Unfortunately for Bunker, fortunately for Aphelion, they can close this thing out here with just one swing in the Search and Destroy. But I still got to roll with Bunker here. This Search and Destroy is going to be their game to win, even if it's a 4v5. You look at the talent in the mix. Cosmos, one of the top slayers. Dark Wizard and Ragox are just absolutely lethal when you give them a sniper in hand. So we'll be able to see them play to their strengths. Hopefully they'll be able to put up a decent matchup. No, never mind. Todos is actually joining back in the lobby. He said medical reasons or not. I'm playing, bro.
He's in a way in a car, just getting himself driven, but at the same time, he's gonna be chilling, bro. He's gonna be playing. Toto is
That's a
gonna be
great thing
here.
about mobile gaming, bro. That's like, anywhere you go is your gaming station, right?
Or even casting. I mean, I think it was Day casting with you that he was
Bro,
like
McDonald's parking
McDonald's or
lot. He
something
was in
like
the
that.
I told him, look, the next time you cast for me from a
I loved
McDonald's
it.
parking lot, I'm gonna need you to get a
Yeah.
cam and be in the ball pit. He was like, dude, they got rid of ball pits a long time ago. I was like, I was so depressed, bro. I'm like, wow, that was my childhood.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Come on now.
That's crazy.
Why?
Dark Wizard, however, said sniping was my childhood. Finds first blood. Shows violence here in this search and destroy early on. And now Aphelion gonna have to answer back, but Dark Wizard just continuing with the shots. That's 2 on board for him. But Raptor in the back right able to even things up a little bit there. Picks up 1 for himself.
With those kills, Dark Wizard has opened the door for his team to plant the bomb, and so do they. Yeah, they got it. They got it on time. 40 seconds on the clock, and Aphelion have to defuse this bomb. Toto, I think we should give some shine to Toto. He's gonna be playing with the MX-9. Finds the first enemy in front of him and takes the kill. Goes for a second one. The enemy had no idea and only gets the assistance. But that's more than enough, as Kill is the only player for Aphelion. 1 versus 3. He's gonna get spotted by Cosmos, and Toto got a kill and an assistance. Props to him, Like, everything is going like in a weird manner for the team, but Toto's always there to support them, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I'm sure he's got a few napkins in his nose trying to, prevent the bleeding from going through. After the beating on the hardpoint, bro, my nose would probably be bleeding a little bit more. But a little bit of life back here in this Bunker Esports roster is we're taking a look at a 1-0 lead. Can they continue on with the energy? It's looking pretty decent. Blessed actually going to open things up. And Mobile Mayhem is no stranger to having coaches sub in. As a matter of fact, I believe Nova, a couple seasons back in NA, actually had Image, who I play Vanguard with now, is actually like one of the most cracked coaches to play Search and Destroy with. And while I was ranting, 4 players drop. The guys over at Aphelion struggling here. The nosebleeds. Doesn't matter. The guys over at Bunker just absolutely crucifying at the moment.
Yeah, what went really wrong from Bonkers is now looking really nicely, as Cousin picks up a kill with that shorty onto Blast. He's still on a 1 versus 4, less than 30 seconds on the clock, takes out the sniper, finds 3 people at once, tries to land the shot but doesn't there. He's gonna get pushed over, and as Ragux takes that kill, that's gonna be the 2-0 lead favoring Bunker Esports. Really great job, specifically in the beginning of the rounds. They are making sure that they are taking 1 or 2 or even 4 kills, like you mentioned on the previous one. Tremendous job done so far. This time, the bomb is going to be carried by Cosmos. Cosmos playing with the Holger. Going to be taking a step back. He's okay. I didn't even know that was a spot, but look at him go jumping for a bit of visual contact on potential enemies. No one's going to be spotted. Still a 5v5 interaction. Seems like the side of Bonkers decided to be a little bit less aggressive, and are gonna be hanging in there, outside of Granny's. The push may be given by Ragux, who's trying to go for that deli area. He's gonna get with a sniper. His allies are also helping him out. Pardon me. But the thing is that I feel like Aphelion know that they're there, and it doesn't matter. Blast takes the kill to kill. Captain just received a grenade, a tactical nade that stunned him. Greek gets the answer back finally, and Greek, okay, is he playing with a R? Oh no, that's a shorty with a cool skin, I guess. My bad, but 2 kills for Aphelion and only 1 for Bunker. Finally looking better for Aphelion here.
Yeah, it is a little bit better. Blessed, however, going to find an evening frag there, and 3v3 as the bomb is going to get planted. Cosmos and the guys, Wizard and Blessed, actually waiting for that decoy to come through. We saw the 2-player push through back alley. It was a decoy, guys. These guys knew what they were doing. They said, hey, you and you, go this way, distract the opponents, let us get on this A site, and it worked out perfectly. If they knew what we knew, they would have known that nobody was there on the A site. It would have free play regardless, but all eyes on Delhi. Nobody paid attention to the A side. Blessed able to pick up 3. Might be able to pick up Captain, but Captain with the slide of a lifetime picks up 1. But Cosmos on the return, and that's going to be 3 flawless rounds for the guys over at Bunker on the backs of Toto making the sub in. He said, call an ambulance, but not for me, guys. For the other team, 3-0 right now for Bunker Esports.
Unbelievable job now being shown to us by the Bunker Esports. I see Captain being super aggressive with a shorty, taking 1 kill, but immediately dropping to the hands of Cosmos. At least was able to get a number for the team. That is going to be a 4 versus 3. Greek is also being aggressive, but Dark Wizard is there for it. Dark Wizard with kill. Number 4 using that sniper. And the team and himself are going to be in this 3 versus 3. The push is still being quite aggressive by Aphelion. They are going to spot Dark Wizard completely unaware of Murad's place. Murad taking a double kill. That is huge. And now Toto, the coach of Bunker, in a 1 versus 3. Gonna be dropping a nade. That's a tactical nade. He's taking his time. He's gonna spot the first enemy in there, but kill. I was just waiting for him to peek, you know?
Tell me that wasn't his
enough.
concussion that dropped. Did he botch that concussion? Was that top market throw? Did it not clear the door path? Yo, Toto,
I'm not sure
Toto,
that,
tell me you're an OG player without telling me you're an OG player. Proceeds to pull out his MP5. I absolutely love it, bro. Killing it so far here. Bunker take a massive 3-1 lead, but Aphelion still have a little bit of fight left in them. They pick up a round for themselves. Greek actually down the 1 HP is going to be able to recover here. Front side, Granny's Ragox
Wow.
says forget about it. Him and Bless combined for 3, and that's going to leave Greek and Raptor all on their own. 2v5, bombs planted. There's no shot that they clutch this round up. Coop actually, or Raptor actually picks up 1. Playing the long game. The angles are covered. Blessed, however, going to be aggressive as hell. And he's going to find 1 in Greek. And now it's going to be a manhunt for the last player alive. And Raptor actually going to pick up 1. Shots on another. Blessed going to be able to escape. Only 15 seconds. Bunker only need to play life here. And that's Toto again. Call it ambulance. But not for him, bro.
When you need him the most, Toto is gonna be there to support your back. Unless you're an enemy, as you saw there, Toto picks up his 2nd kill and gives a 4-1 lead to the team. Bunker Esports are on a streak, and they have done an amazing job so far. Now, the teams are gonna be switching sides, and I see Captain being really aggressive, and so are his allies. Problem is that 2 of them already died. Cosmos was ready with that Holger. Captain try to go for that bomb, takes a kill, but then takes the L himself. It's gonna be yet again Raptor in a 1 versus 3, picking up the first kill onto Dark Wizard. That is huge. A minute and a half remaining. In here I see Toto. Toto has spotted the enemy already. Toto trying to go for that kill, but that kill is not gonna be given easy. Toto with a drop shot tries to go for the kill, and Raptor takes a lot of damage but survives that interaction. The push is now there, but Cosmos gonna help out Toto to take the kill onto his enemy, and Bunkers are 1 round away from taking us to the 3rd game. And I'm gonna be honest, after what we saw in the first game, I was not expecting it to be this way.
No, absolutely not. 5-1 lead, match point here for Bunker Esports, looking decent. And that last little bit of search and destroy round panned out perfectly for Bunker. They had to play it like a team deathmatch because Bomb was down. They didn't have much time to work with. Rotation was already scrapped. You know, you got Raptor who's causing a little bit of mayhem left and right. Got to deal with that problem, and they did it accordingly. Ragox going to deal with that problem. Finds 1, and Cal and Greek drop accordingly. Murad and Captain left in a 2v5. Toto gets obliterated on the backside of back alley, but Cosmos doing his work. Duty's done. Bombs in the hands of Murad. He's going to be able to pick up 1 more, but he's going to have to find the ace in order to clutch this round and take us to another, maybe extended to a game 3, maybe extended to a round 7. Or round 8 rather. It is going to have to be on the backs of Murad to make something happen, but with only a minute left on the clock, he's got not much time to work with. 3 players in the mix. Cosmos on the opposite side of market. Definitely want to go boxes, dude. The push comes through. Broken wall. The shots for Dark Wizard is going to... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no,
you gotta
he
get
got
those.
nervous.
You got to hit those. Does hit that one, though. Shorty a little more forgiving than the MX-9 at that range, obviously.
Well, we still got 30 seconds on the clock. Aphelion player Murad continues to be alive. Already got himself 3 kills and continues to push forward. 25 seconds on the clock. 2 more enemies for him to go for. He's gonna spot the first one fighting around the tank. Takes the kill. No! Cosmos had the best trigger discipline there. Once he saw him, took the kill, and Bunker with a 6-1 victory. Like, completely 180 change between game 1 and 2. We are going to a game 3 on our first match of the day, Verdict.
Oh, match number 1 has already been a banger, guys. This is no implication on the end game of Mobile Mayhem Fall 2021 regular season gameplay, but it has definitely been a banger so far. The blowout from Aphelion in the Hardpoint over Bunker Esports. Now the roles have flipped. The coaches have stepped up for... The coach has stepped up for Bunker Esports, and we saw it there. The drop shots from him, just absolutely on point. Played his life well. Got a little bit of help on that last run there. Not this past round, but the round before that. Putting us on that match point for Bunker Esports, and they close things out smoothly. Search and Destroy looking very fire for Bunker Esports 6-1. I said, hey, I'm rolling with Bunker. You know, at first I was like, bro, I'm crazy. The 4v5 is not going to happen. But you know what? Toto, on the backs of a nosebleed, came through and just absolutely leveled that playing field and made a great turn of events for them. As we're taking a look at the scorecard here, post-Mayhem scorecard for Bunker Esports this time. 11 kills for Cosmos, 9 for Blessed. Everybody on point, and you look at Aphelion. Where were you at, guys? Nowhere in sight. We're going to a game 3, as you just mentioned.
And as all that has been said, it seems like we got also some news about the Asylum match against the Noxious Blood. Did I say Noxious Blood twice?
No, yeah,
Asylum,
Illuminati. Illuminati, yeah.
Yeah, Illuminati.
Yeah, formerly known as Illuminati. So, Aphelion go on to win that series 2-0. They secure a 3rd place spot as we take a look at the standings now, just for your visual reference. Aphelion going to clutch that 2-0 scenario. They're going to end the season with 110. Literally 2 weeks ago, they were in a position of not even being considered for a playoff spot. Here they are in a top 3 seed. This is just an absolute ridiculous way to turn things around. Aphelion obviously gets, the takeover for XOXO. It's not a disband. It was more along the lines of, hey, you got a stage 5 life yet again. Second opportunity to come through. Let's take the most, make the most of it. Let's take all the opportunity to make sure that we are on point for everything. And they have showed up and showed out. As a matter of fact, they have been one of the most improved spots, I would say. I wouldn't say teams because they've always been a great team. But here we are coming down to the last day of Mobile Mayhem. And literally 2 weeks ago, 25 points, now sitting at 110. This is a team that we're going to have to watch out for here in the playoffs as we're going to get geared up for the Game 3 scenario with this matchup. I'm taking a look at it. We're going to see a Raid Domination, guys. That's right. Raid Domination to close out this series. Again, the Operator vetoes were the Annihilator and the Sparrow. So we won't see those in the mix here, but the Kinetic Armor, 100% chance of it happening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to see it being used so frequently on this game, and we all know that operator doesn't really take the longest time for you to get it, and well, it's gonna be important to take the most value off of it. So after this game, we could potentially get some other 100% confirmed spots, like it is the case for Asylum. They're gonna be top 3 no matter what. We all know that anything else on that list can be moved a little bit, slightly up, slightly down. But, yeah, Asylum are there, and they are on their way for Bunkers and Aphelion. Game number 3, and to start off this game, I'd say we go with, for example, what was the MVP from last game? That is Cosmos from the side of Roll. He's going to be playing with a Holger up Laundry, and going to be helping his allies from there.
Yep, absolutely. Try to get that map control early. Ragok's actually going to get dropped. Aphelion doing a phenomenal job here on the respawns. Domination a different story than the search. We saw the hardpoint. Is that going to be a factor here in this matchup? Or are the guys over at Aphelion going to be able to display their fragging abilities and have that advantage? It's very possible. Cosmos tries to go through and contest, and Murad with great map control is actually going to be taken down. Cosmos and a plethora of players. Ragox squirmed his way on point. Captain, however, says, hello, I'm right here, buddy. Come see me. And so does Dark Wizard Tilt. Jumps right there on that ringside site. And that is going to be a B cap coming through early for Aphelion. It was halted for a moment, but Toto tried to be that contesting factor. No match for the boys over at Aphelion.
I see right here Greek using this shield that we were talking about with a PP19, heading his way over at Alpha, thinking about where to go. He knows that enemies are going to be spawning quite close, far as the first one doesn't really take the kill, and starts capturing this flag. He's going to get pushed over from all different angles if he's not careful enough, and now his allied Kill going to be there to help him out with that double kill. He's going to be feeling a lot more secure. Kill is helping his allied. His allied unfortunately died nonetheless. And he goes for those staircases. Finds a 1. Finds a 2. But the third was there. Doesn't matter too much. At the end of the day, they were going for a triple cap, which is not necessarily necessary most of the time. But, you know, if you secure that lead as early as possible, like, just take it. Not gonna be the case, but continuing to be on the control for CNB.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you put a little bit of pressure on your opponents early on in the first half. Surely they're going to be a little demoralized moving into that second half. Need every bit of energy, morale-wise, for Bunker Esports to pull this one off. As we're midway through the first half, and all I see is Aphelion just racking up the kill feeds. They're racking up everything left and right. They're getting a lot of map control. The push over to the C site is going to pan out as Cosmos able to put a little pressure back on the guys over at Aphelion. But I do believe we only have about a few moments left before this first half ends. If they can hold this double cap, it'll definitely make it closer. But, you know, you're going to be moving into a second half where, again, Aphelion have a ton of streaks. I'm looking at Raptor. He's got a... who was it that Kel had? A Predator, a Sentry, and a Cluster Strike. The A cap gets capped there, and the double cap Dreams are going to fall through the grips of Bunker Esports as they make their attempt over to B via the mid area. P5, they're going to be able to clear it. That's going to be 4 players on point. This is going to be a massive turnaround here for... No, what happened? Get on point. Blessed. Peeks off, peeks back on. They do get the B cap to come through. Now, it's only a matter of time. 75 to 53. Only a 22-point advantage, but I say only 22 like it's not a lot. That's still a lot going into that second half.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best case scenario for the side of Bunker, but definitely better than it could have been anticipated at the beginning of that round. And as we start with round number 2 verdict, I want to suggest, what about us doing a bit of a force check-in?
Go ahead and prepare as we're going to jump into the VCs of the guys over at Aphelion for a quick listen-in.
Enemy taking Bravo.
Oh, that's 4B. Nice. Got them up.
Enemy has Bravo.
We need to go together, B.
2 mid. They're coming for it.
One dead. Pushing for laundry.
Oh, zigzag kill. Zigzag.
Zig absolute.
There's one holding rig, guys.
Yo.
Go mid.
Can you guys go for...
Mid. 2 mid.
You guys can. Go for C.
Yo,
Yeah, one dead.
They got ring control, guys.
Oh, mid stairs.
Smoky kill.
One dead. One more
Kitchen. We're gonna lose A.
No, I got it. Just go for C.
There's one behind the vent, guys.
Money and one pool and one.
There's 2 holding, guys. Laundry.
Guys, let's go for C. Push for C.
There's someone for
Wait.
Mid. There's someone who...
Rapture, one is coming to A. Watch out.
Enemy in sight. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed. Be advised, hostile hunter-killer
Bro, what the fuck? One ring.
Push with me, C, guys.
Yo, one mid.
missile inbound.
Okay, one...
Yo, I died.
Is AC.
Watch out,
AC, one AC, mirror.
Well, to be completely frank, I was excited about joining for Aphelion as they started the first half just absolutely slaying out, but you heard it there. There was a lot of panic. There was a lot of frustration. There was a lack of communication. Everyone, I heard the, let's go see, but there's no execution there. They can barely make it across the map, and that's partly, in fact, of how well Bunker has been playing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bunker just made of a world that it couldn't be just broken for the side of Aphelion. Finally gonna be there for the first time, as I see Murad there, but Cosmos was there to make a defense. I also see that Kill is another one with the streaks now pushing in, going for this gym area back and forth, thinking if he wants to go for Bravo or if he wants to go for that anchor flag for the opponents. Either was the case for him thinking about going. He ended up dying. Bunker continuing to be under control. The streaks are going to be used for kill. Plenty of kills have been given all over the place, but overall seems like finally Aphelion have done it. But is this a triple cap scenario?
No. I think they have a little bit of time to work with, but they do put the pressure back on. They do get the double cap. They needed to make it move, and they needed to make it fast, and they put it on as they get the B cap to come through. So Rog or Bunker actually going to be spawning on the court side of things. That was interesting. I was just on board with Toto's as he got taken down. Spawned right in your opponent's den, and very unfortunate timing as he gets taken down instantly. But Aphelion, I gotta applaud them. They get their act together a little on time, and it might pan out, but the double cap might be coming back through. Dark Wizard going to solidify it as he has two players or one player to actually work with. They do get the B cap, and now it looks like we are going to be approaching triple cap territory, and in a matter of seconds, that is it right there. Triple cap territory officially, and no traction on B. No hope here for Aphelion. Bunker Esports going to be able to steal away a win in game number 3. They get slapped around in game 1. Game 2, they did a little bit of slapping themselves. First half here of this domination was a bit dicey, but second half performance on point. Bunker Esports take the series 2-1, 150 to 141 domination score.
Really, really impressive comeback being done by Bunker, both in the whole series and also in the game. Like you mentioned, round number 1 looking pretty good for Aphelion, but the beginning of round 2 being able to quickly capture B and just stand your ground, not move anywhere, just waiting for opponents to push in, and you push them back out by killing them. Amazing, amazing job done for both of these teams. Bunker is definitely on the better end of these games. The MVP is going to be Cosmos on this third match. Almost a triple positive KD for himself. You know, Cosmos was on a rampage, and so was Dark Wizard. And I feel like those two were the main reason why they were able to hold those two flags for the longest time.
Oh, absolutely. Even when your fifth player being a coach, Bunker Esports just continued to do what they did best, and that second half performance was a great display of coordination. They only needed 4 to make sure it happened. As you can see, Toto not necessarily contributed in the KD department, but getting 6 caps, he played his role very well in that sense. So a hell of a comeback for Bunker, and Aphelion going to fall shy of a 2-1 themselves. Was really looking forward to seeing how they ended the season, and Bunker Esports, they pretty much just ended that dream early in that second half, and a well-fought one for both teams, but obviously Bunker decided to step it up, and that is absolutely crucial for them moving forward. Obviously, it's not going to have any implications of the regular season, but still, you know, this is for bragging rights, man. You go against an Aphelion team who's slowly on a come-up, you take them 2 pegs down on that search and that domination, and, I mean, you could hear it, and the frustration was real for Aphelion. You heard it in the comms. Not everything going their way. They didn't necessarily adapt to the adversity off the rip, but you know, they put up a hell of a fight in that second half and just fall shy of that victory. So, well fought from them, well fought from Bunker Esports. That was a best of 3 that went the distance, and man, we've got treated so far today. Obviously, the Aphelion games went off stream. It was a 2-0 fashion. Maybe it was for the best. I had a conversation with Ronald before the stream happened. I was like, you think it's better that we put Aphelion and Bunker Esports? None of these teams have playoff. No, you know what? He was absolutely right. I should have went with his first instinct, and sure enough, they delivered. Both matches there, or the first 3 matches there, absolutely on point. So set the day off right, Gil.
Setting the day off right, absolutely. And well, I'm expecting a lot of this today. That was only match number 1, but I do believe that we may get ourselves onto a slide of an intermission. After that, don't go anywhere. This is going to be the match, between Nova Esports and Qlash.
Absolutely, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. All right, guys, in a series of unfortunate events, Qlash not going to be able to produce a 4th player to play tonight. They are going to, unfortunately, DQ via forfeit. Very unfortunate, as I was expecting them to give Anarchy a run for their money, and that right there is pretty much going to, you know, building the anticipation from today's matches. Having Qlash drop out takes away everything. Everything's off the table. Everyone who was in the 6th place and higher going to be moving on to the playoffs. We're still going to see those games. However, we're not going to see Qlash put up that fight. As I'm taking a look at the standings, dude. Looking at it for everyone to see here. Qlash right there at that brim of 6th place. They could taste a playoff berth, but unfortunately not able to produce a 5th or 4th for that matter. They're not going to be able to play. They're going to be absolutely... that's devastating, bro. You know what? I'm just going to take us to our next series. It's going to be a minute, guys. I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. We are going to have to wait for Gallant Esports. We're going to have to wait for Gallant Esports to get out of another tournament. They obviously had scheduled for their game, or they had it in their mind that their games were going to be a little later on, but some very unfortunate timing as Qlash not able to play tonight. Definitely going to hinder our schedule, but it's not going to hinder the action, guys. Don't go anywhere. As soon as we get the teams, you know, semi-ready, we'll go back live and we'll have some more action. So the next match of the night is going to be Meseeks EU and Gallant Esports, guys. Get your drinks, get your snacks, get prepared. We're going to be back live as soon as Gallant is available.
Invincible.
All right, guys, we are actually going to be getting geared up for our next series. It's actually going to take a little longer than expected. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be Meseeks EU and Gallant up first, or if we can get Stamina and Anarchy to jump in the lobby. It's a first come, first serve kind of ordeal at the moment, but stay tuned, grab your snacks, get prepared. We still got a lot of heat going on. 2 sweaty matches to come along with it, so don't go away. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back as soon as we can get one of these matches in the lobby. We'll let you know. We'll let you guys know as soon as possible. So appreciate you guys' patience. Obviously, I didn't want to wait. You guys didn't want to wait, but here we are, playing the waiting game. So just a little bit longer. Not too much. Not too much there, but we will be right back.
Invincible.
A few moments later. That's right, guys. We are back live. That was me trying to impersonate the SpongeBob, cutscene, obviously. We've been on a bit of a delay here for the past like half hour, guys. And I'm very, very sorry about the wait, but you know what? I can't apologize as we do have the teams in the lobby. We are good to gear up and rock and roll. We got Meseeks EU in the mix. We've got Gallant Esports in the mix. Gilmania.
Hey, it was good. We're ready or what?
Oh,
Been a
we
bit
are.
of a pause time.
Yeah. I made a oopsie twoopsie. I did solo page for the solo webcam page for making that announcement, and I didn't.
You don't want me to know that I'm here.
I didn't,
Okay.
dude. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I got it fixed now, but they all know you're here now. That's all that matters, right?
Come on now, Dave. Look at this. Look at this dude.
Oh yeah.
I love Chad. I love Chad.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
dude. If we're not coming back to some Omega cringe from Verdict, are you really coming back though? All right. Think about it. These are the questions. No more questions. All of that aside, I think we've got everything squared away on both ends. I think we got best of threes to show.
Mm-hmm. So you got that put up on screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with a game of Hardpoint on firing range. After that, moving for Search and Destroy on Standoff. And at the end, a potential game of Hackeyard Domination.
Yuck.
The bands from Meseeks are going to be Crossfire as a map and the Kinetic Shield for the operator. From Gallant Esports, we have Takeoff Band, and so is the Sparrow.
Only thing I can say about this best of three, bro, is I hope we don't see that game 3. I know how devastating and how you guys already know it's not an unpopular opinion. It is common knowledge. If you come into Verdict Stream and he's casting and we see a Hackeyard Domination, just be prepared to be, maybe a little bit of gag, maybe a little bit of, a little bit of, I can't control it, bro. It's just, I see it and I'm like, oh my God, dude, who pooped on the screen? That's just absolutely gross. Get it out. But with all fairness and respect to the teams, I hope we do see that game 3. I just am very unfortunate to say that it's going to be on a Hackeyard Domination. The veto's on point. Gallant banning the takeoff map for obvious reasons. Meseeks banning Crossfire. Worse maps have been banned, or better maps have been banned in the mix. So the gag reflect. Ronald. I got Discord at the bottom of my screen. I'm reading it word for word. Get out of here, bro. He removed that so quick, bro. He removed it so quick. Without further ado, I don't even know what to say. Proof. Shut your mouth. What? You know what? Mi amo es Brian, okay? I told you I'd steal it, bro. I told you I would.
It did it.
Here we go. Game number 1 right around the corner. We're jumping into the mix. ASAP, Gallant Esports, Meseeks EU. A little bit of, us being put on ice. A lot of it causing Verdict to be extra cringe because he's always pretty cringe. Now he's just over the top. We'll see if this game goes over the top, and we'll see how it pans out. Both teams got comm checks for both as well, so we will be able to join in the VCs for any team that we see fitting. But out the rip, I'm on board with Storm, who has been on a bit of a tyrant. Nope, that is not going to happen, actually. Everyone loses the game, or everyone's backing out of the game. Super unfortunate.
Well, there you have it. I'm not too sure what the inconvenience might have been, but hopefully we'll get to fix that ASAP. A few more seconds for us to get started. And I mean,
did you say no ping, no party? Is that what I heard?
I mean, I don't know what could be the issue there.
I'm pretty sure I heard somebody in chat say no ping, no party. Somebody said it. I didn't say it. I did say it. You know what? No ping, no party. I know that's an NA thing, but hey. Day joined in the VC earlier, and he has just like clouded my my thought process, and he has intruded in my mind. And Gil, did you fix Botrix?
What do you? I don't know. I saw you guys struggling. I was like, okay, let me type it myself. But I don't know.
Hey, okay. We got a technician on our hands.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the issue could have been. Seems
I-
better. Do you
hey.
have any other commands with Bodrix?
Let me take a look at it. I had the page pulled up just to see if I could repower it off and on while we had a little bit of time. We got Discord. We got a few of my promos for, for Meseeks and also for the Activision account and GamerGoo. That's right, guys. We won't talk about it on there. What we'll talk about is what's going to be happening here in game number 1 as we're going to gear back up for a second time around, and hopefully that should be everything connectivity-wise on both sides all good to roll. P1 going to be opened up 5 seconds through. See the rotations up. It's a 5-man spread evenly across the map. Actually, 2 going to be up top 10 as P1 going to have the advantage for the guys over at Gallant. They get the good spots this time around to be able to take advantage of it off the rip.
I just saw Honor being on top, and Metal not really leaving that area, just waiting to find some opponents to kill while his allies are the ones getting into the OVJ. He's gonna get one more kill onto Hess. Immediately turns back to look at the Metal, but General Gore was there and he takes him off his reign of terror, recovering control back over at Meseeks, who are trying to defend that area. General Gore is gonna be using this M13 and he's gonna be the one holding that angle, but Honor gets his revenge. What a way for him to die. A back and forth fight between the two, and the control is for the last few seconds seemingly to be in favor of the Gallant Esports.
Yeah, that's going to be an obvious. They get good side of the spawns to start things off with. As a matter of fact, they're going to have the advantage here early on. The P2 rotations, I do see Denicio loses 1 gunfight, spawns all the way on the other side of the map. And now Meseeks down by 12. It's going to be a lot more. The blood is just going to continue to pour. The hemorrhaging just continuing to slap on. But Denicio able to win 2 gunfights. Onur finally able to take him down. But Onur is going to drop. Guys, if you're wondering if that's leader, that is leader. That is leader in the mix here for Gallant Esports. He makes a last-minute sub entry and a very early break early on for the guys over at Meseeks. They recover very well, get the rotations, but now Cathalia able to capitalize on some great score streak action, is going to be able to clear it, but Hez just going to be too much for the P2 rotation.
Yeah, the back and forth fight between the two on this hill number 2 has been tremendous. No really more than a couple of seconds control after one of your opponents just would get in there and take you out. Back and forth, back and forth. For the first time I see over there Gathila being with his Holger, standing his ground and dropping those numbers for the team. That's going to be 53 points to 22. The lead continues to be for Gallant Esports. And as we're moving on to the trailer, it seems like Meseeks got there first. They got all of their fellas over there. One of them is going to be Storm. Storm using this MX9. Maybe making sure that no one's getting to that trailer, but problem is from behind, there's opponents killing his allies. He's trying to survive. He's trying to help them out. It seems like they're going to be able to stand strong. Let's see for how long as Storm finds 2 more people, takes 1 assistance, takes 1 kill. And for the first 20 seconds, Meseeks have finally done it. And this could be tremendous if they can also translate that control over at P number 4.
Yeah, this is going to be a great comeback here for the Meseeks squad. Actually, the break comes through initially, but Meseeks able to recover. They're going to take the lead, and now we're going to see the Goliaths come through. Oh my god, the G is just yoinked the Goliath. He's going to be... oh, he was concussed. Fahim able to get there. That is a massive kill pickup for him, and he is going to be able to get the Goliath to come through. The man who was eating prior, or picking up his food prior to starting this matchup. A little bit of a delay on that end, but nonetheless, coming through massively, able to pick up a Goliath kill, and preventing Gallant actually from getting into that Goliath was clutch. It doesn't matter what the lifespan of this Goliath is for Fahim right now. It's a dub for 1. You kept your opponents off of it. The yoink was almost real, and I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to jump in to listen in for the VCs of the guys over at Meseeks.
Yeah. Hold mid.
One base to T.
One lower.
Yo.
One's backward.
One lower
Other
dead.
side.
One barrel's dead.
One more backward, boys. We may go top.
One more lower.
Nice. Start going for
One more
tree.
lower. One lower.
Other side.
Top 10.
Two lower. Two lower.
Other side, one shot.
One dead. One dead. One dead. I'm got killed in tower. Go take over tower. Go take
Jungle
over.
1.
Bottom team dead.
Hold
One more
it.
bottom team, one lower.
Jungle 2, jungle 2.
One mid. He's almost done.
One backward.
Go next,
How's
go
he not
next.
dead, bro? He's in trailer.
Bro.
Goliath has been destroyed.
One bit mid.
Come on.
Top 10, top 10. Top 10.
One tower.
I need top 10.
Yeah, I got him.
Good shit.
One more top 10.
Keep denying them on tower. Keep denying them on
Top
tower.
10. Top 10 dead.
Nice.
Nice.
One mid corner.
I'm in top 10. 2 mid.
Pushing from
mid.
mid.
Yeah,
Fuck
2
man,
mid.
he's on point, bro.
On that mid.
He's on point.
Oh, nice strike.
Mid.
We've called in a
One more dead mid.
Top 10 clear.
One shower's dead.
Mid dead.
Nice.
I'm on point.
One
go.
trailer, one
Truck on side.
Get ready for next. Get ready for next, boys.
One trailer.
Ram dead.
All right, Guilt, you heard it there. The comms were a little leaky at first. As a matter of fact, didn't really need to communicate too much on that P4 rotation, but we saw the P1 reset come through, and things looking a lot better for Meseeks off the rip. You even heard one of those call-outs. That's one of my typical ones when I'm playing. Like, how is he not dead, bro? I put so many shots in him. The frustration is real. I mean, I even see players like this, you shoot, you think he's dead, you stop shooting a little bit prematurely, and, it happens sometimes. So, P2 coming through. The break is massive for the guys over at Gallant, and they might have an opportunity to step back up here.
Yeah, right now the Meseeks squad gotta make sure that they close this as quickly as possible, but Gallant Esports continuing to be alive. Gothilla with Annihilator takes it out, takes the first kill, goes for the second one, missing the shot, but there you go, that's the 2, that's the 3. Finally getting taken down by Fahim. Fahim giving a couple points for the Meseeks squad, but Gallant Esports continue to have that area under control. The big thing is, the key point for Gallant is how they rotate towards the next one, because this point is not gonna give them enough for victory. So they gotta make sure that once they're done with that, they immediately rush in for that trailer area, in which I think Meseeks should be heading towards, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, they got for that last couple of seconds on the hardpoint. They had enough of that. And once they're done, there's already so many players from Gallant Esports inside of the objective. They're using all their utilities, operators, score streaks, and their own weapons. And I think that's where Meseeks might have messed up, because Gallant have just so much control inside of this area.
Yeah. You think back to that lightning strike that I'm not for sure who it was. Maybe it was Head, maybe it was Fahim. They utilized it on that P1 point. Maybe a little premature for that particular call. And that's going to lead to their devastation. 150 to 137. Lack of, organized score streak usage, I would say. But absolutely on point from the guys over at Gallant Esports. As we were talking off stream, one of the things that we were mentioning was the fact of how, Gallant Esports maybe struggled a little bit more in any other game mode than any other is the Hardpoint. And it was a well-fought victory for them. They've earned it. They took the match to the distance and got that P2 to P3 reset. And I got to credit to the fact that you pointed it out. Those score streaks definitely came in handy.
The fact that Gallant Esports had their the airstrike, they had their operators, the death machine, annihilators, all of the utilities that they had were used on the right time, and completely annihilated any sort of hope for Meseeks to get inside, because the second they crossed a single barrier, they would have to fight against weapons, against the turret, against a lightning strike, whatever might have been in between, and it was just too much for them. And with all of this said, I did see that the MVP from Gallant was gonna be once again Gothilla, almost a minute inside of the objective, 30 kills, only dying 20 times, helping the team a lot. He was the one that got those huge numbers for the team.
Absolutely. You're taking a look at it. There's a strong contribution from each of these players, almost a minute for 4 of them to be exact. 47 for leader and raid, respectively. And then you see Onur, who also played a great job of slaying outside, maybe a little bit more perimeter control, still bounced in and put 27 seconds on the hill. That is a great distribution of hill time. If you look at it from Meseeks, you got 2 big carries in Storm and Fahim in regards to objective. But you saw how it panned out. It just didn't pan in their direction. And, you know, a lack of score streaks, maybe a lack of contribution in the OBJ from a few players. But, you know, a well-orchestrated push towards that P2 objective, and Gallant Esports able to take the bag. You know, you can't be upset at that. That's just how the game is played. You know, towards the end, you got those score streaks. Use them if you got them. Gathelia had them, and nobody from Meseeks did. So the cookie crumbled big time there. Game number 1. We're going to get geared up for game number 2. As Gil mentioned earlier, it is going to be a standoff, search or destroy. This is going to be the determining factor if we see a game 3, which I mentioned earlier as well. I don't care to see one, personally, for Hackeyard domination reasons. But for the sanctity of competitive spirit, I got to roll with it, man. I need to see Meseeks put on a 100 game here in this search or destroy.
Yeah, and even more so because when you think about the fact that Gallant Esports tend to struggle on Hardpoint, and they got a point off of that, well, it's gonna be tough for Meseeks to turn it back around in here. Not impossible though. We've seen them play multiple times on Search and Destroy Standoff and actually have a blast, but also we've seen them on others where they just completely struggle against their opponents. Let's see which of the two is going to be. What we do know is that there's no more options than winning, or else, well, Gallant is gonna take the dub in a 2-0 matter. In this first round, we're gonna have this Gallant Esport roster being on the offensive role. The carrier is gonna be Gathelia. Honor picks up the first kill. Honor, being quite aggressive, went in and took the first initial kill. And now it's gonna be turn for Meseeks to try to answer back.
It is indeed, as we see the first trade come through. A little bit of control there on that A side. 2 players there, one directly on cover 1. And Denisio, who's going to play the Barrel Bandit, finds shots on Gathelia. The drop is real raid. One of the, you know, critically acclaimed best underage players in this EU scene. And I say critically acclaimed. Ferg put it out there, so it's obviously got to be true. 4v1 now. Genius is going to find that last kill. The bomb was planted. Didn't matter, as that last kill came through at a 1-0 crisp round there for the guys over at Gallant Esports. They take an advantage. But we saw how the Hardpoint started off. A little bit of shake for both teams, but a little bit of stabilizing towards the end for both. Obviously, Gallant able to take the game in whole, but will we see that same situation here in the Search or Destroy? It's very possible. A little bit of unorthodox gameplay here from Meseeks, as I do see, well, no, unorthodox, more so less, just a little more conservative than we saw last round, but we'll see how Gallant Esports responds after taking that first round.
Yeah, so far no kills have been given. I see Storm being quite sneaky. Storm is waiting for them to plant. He's gonna hear them doing it right now. Let's see if he can stop it. Finds the first opponent, goes in, takes the kill. Goes for the second one. Can he get it? No. He missed those shots. Leader ended up picking up that kill. Leader with a shorty is gonna be defending that bomb. Let's see if he can. It's a 1v3. Takes kill number 1. Has to reload. Finds another opponent. Takes out the shorty. Can he do it? He cannot. Denisio gonna be there to help out General Gore in picking up that kill, defusing that bomb, and even things out. For a second, I did think that Leader was going to be able to make it, but some good communication from Meseeks helped them just collapse onto Leader and take that kill.
Great push there for Meseeks, able to hold off a little bit. We saw the sneaky, the patient gameplay pay off. Exactly what you need to do. You need to wait for your opponents to be off guard. I absolutely took advantage completely. Gore and Denisio going to make the rotation alongside Honor up top. Market could spot him, but Fahim actually going to be dropped. Honor picking up his second. Hez going to pick up one as well. Gathelia going to be a casualty. Honor. Oh my god, the shot's just raining in. Gore going to be taken out. Leader going to drop a Denisio as well. This is going to be a 1v2. Hez and Storm actually going to be able to orchestrate very well on the pinch, and now it's gonna be Genius. I didn't see Genius. I always do this, bro. His picture is black and white in the game, so it looks like he's already dead. But like a snake in the grass, is gonna be alive and was holding the A side. But we saw the shots come raining in. The bomb's gonna get defused. Another great round for Meseeks as they collect themselves 2 rounds in a row. Not necessarily allowing that Hardpoint to dictate how well they play in the Search or Destroy, putting up some massive first half numbers.
The objective. The enemy has the bomb.
Yeah, right now the 2-1 lead is going to be favoring the Meseeks players. I want to see, pretty interesting what you said about Genius. I think I probably do that sometimes too. But this time is not going to be an issue. He immediately drops dead to the hands of, I think it was Denicio. Denicio takes a double onto Raid. Those snipes are on point. 6 kills already for the Meseeks player Denicio, doing an amazing job to start up this round that is now turned into a 5 versus 2 because General Gore also wants to fight for that sniper player role, you know. Both of them are gonna be sniping, both of them are gonna be rocking it so efficiently. Leader though takes the kill onto Denicio, but immediately drops dead to the hands of Fahim, leaving Godzilla in a 1 versus 4. He does have the sniper, he does have the MX9, and he already has the understanding of where one of the opponents was. That was Hess. Picks up that kill and immediately has to make sure that he's in a safe spot. Still has 1 minute remaining, but the second that he spots one more player, they're gonna know where he's at. Takes the snipe onto Fahim. Wait, is that 3 kills already for good? Oh, it doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter, Gore, but you gotta say, Meseeks, you gotta do a better job. I know only 3 players drop, you got the round, doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you got 1 player left and you're pushing 1 by 1. There's no dice that a 1 by 1 push is gonna make anything happen against a player like Aphelion. He played his role very well there, played his life extremely well. The numbers were obviously against him, but you put a little bit more pressure on that. If you are going to push, at least send 2 in the mix. That wasn't the case, but again, they took the round, so can't be too upset. Gore gonna find first blood on Noor. It seems to be a very decent pattern here for Meseeks. They strike first. They're going to be able to hold back and play conservatively. You don't need to be aggressive in this situation. We saw how much devastation one player caused when you're aggressive towards the end when you have an advantage. If you push up and there's 4 players that are there to retaliate, it's going to be another picture that may not favor you. So Raid and Gathelia going to be on the backside of Market. Actually, we're going to see Gathelia push up mid. Shots are going to come raiding in. It does have sound off for a sit rep. Gathelia, doesn't matter. He's going to go ahead and push up. Denicio going to be spotted. Courtyard. Must be some cookies up there in Granny's house because they are all piling in. That's Fahim as well. Make that Fahim dead. Storm coming through with a nice 2-piece, and that's going to be it. 4-1 as we flip sides. I asked Meseeks to step their game up, and they are balling out at the moment.
They truly stepped it up, and like you mentioned, the initial factor of them being able to take those first bloods back to back has been so tremendously good for them. Let's see if that's going to be the case once again. For example, looking at Denicio, who's being really aggressive right now. He's already onto Deli, but he's going to get spotted. Goes for the snipe, missing the first shot. Immediately has to retreat back. Surviving that interaction was crucial. And actually quite questionable for, I think that was Genius. Genius definitely should have had that kill. His opponent was not even looking at him, and he just couldn't connect enough shots to take that first initial kill. And we continue to be in a 5 versus 5, where I do see that it is General Gore with a carry of the bomb. They're currently being in the middle of the map, in between that tank and statue, waiting for a push to happen. A few nades are being thrown, and Gathela takes that kill to General Gore. Now the best case for Meseeks. Now that they are on the offensive, seems like they continue to decide go for that passive role, just waiting for the opponents to move, but it's not working out. Ray takes the kill to Fahim. Hess is the one that is trying to go for that bomb, currently using the AMAX, moving through the map left and right, trying to find an opening potential for himself. Denicio gonna help him out by taking that kill onto Genius. The bomb is, I think the side of Gallant already know where the bomb is at, and that's why they're waiting for it. Denicio pushed in and gets taken out. It's a 2 versus 4. Hess and Storm next to each other, not gonna be the best. Storm in a 1v4, trying to survive, just dancing around this tank. Eventually, the 2 enemies went in at the same time, and it was just too hard to handle. Finally, Gallant Esports answer back, and we are in a 4-2 score.
Yeah, we are, and I gotta say, Gore, you can't put that bomb in harm's way like that. You saw the repercussions of that action. You put it out mid like that, right there on that statue tank area. Your opponent sees it. Obviously, they're not gonna have to be moving. You are, and you're gonna be rotating right into them. Now, good thing is for Meseeks here is they find first blood. Onur going to be dropped. The leader going to be spotted. Leader going to be able to stay alive, though, as the shots do not hit. Raid and Gathelia holding down fort here over at A. Fahim looking to make the push up. Does get a few hit markers. Genius on the backside as well. Deli gets smoked. Push is going to come through. Nope, they're kind of just patiently waiting. Not 100% sure. They got the one trade to come through, right? That should have been an ample opportunity for them to rotate. However, they're going to allow Gathelia the opportunity to pull some help over to that A site. That's going to be Raid. Raid back on point. If you would have made that push a little quicker when the smoke came out, you got a 5-1 scenario against Gathelia. Sure, if he drops one, you're still having a one-man advantage when you take him out. Now we're going to see things on the other foot. 4-3 now as the defense has been just impenetrable. Meseeks, I got to question you, bro. Where's that energy that you had in the first half on the defense? It is nowhere to be found so far in this attacking strat.
Absolutely nowhere to be found, just not really finding their place on to the offensive side. I see them right now pushing towards A and actually doing a lot of damage to opponents with that nade, but still Raid picks up the first one. Raid falls to the hands of Fahim with that shorty, make it a 4 versus 4. I see Hez multiple times trying to plant that bomb. He's gonna do so right now. Gathela is pushing all the way around, finds Hez planting the bomb, and does stop him. But the bomb is still over there. Leader in a 1v3, currently sniping. And okay, for a second I thought he had 2 snipers, but it was just a spectator glitch. He does have that shorty. The bomb has been planted, and he has 3 opponents in front of him. Missing that shot, though. Unfortunate for Leader. That is not going to help his case as he tried to go for the push from one player. But Denisio already got a good look of where he was at, took that snipe, and now Meseeks are 1 round away from even the numbers out on this series.
Yeah, but I know as soon as you said, does he have 2 snipers? They felt that instantly, bro. To say Vanguard, you're not allowed to pull up 2 snipers with overkill, as we see too many times in Vanguard. If you ever seen us stream, dude, you already know what's going on. This is not the case here. Double sniper, not in COD Mobile, unless you pick up 2, which doesn't make sense, as the mag capacities in COD Mobile are much better than in Vanguard. Now, we're on match point. Meseeks in a position to capitalize, take us to that game 3, where, again, we made it, known earlier. It's a domination on Hackeyard. It's probably one of the most brutal games, but it's equally brutal for each team. Now, the team that's going to have the advantage is going to be the team that has the better half of the second, or the better side of the second half, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Gathelia finds 2. The A side push is going to be rejected. Ray going to come through for some support. Ray going to get some help. Hez drops Denisio on the rotation out. And just like that, 1 by 1, they fall. We're going to be seeing another round here for Gallant. They could very well close it out here on this Search and Destroy, but they're going to have 2 flawless rounds here coming up. We'll start with this first one. We'll see how they do, and we'll go from there. Denisio, 12 kills on board, and the side of Gallant, you got Gathelia. These 2 are major factors. And now we're going to see the push come through. Onur, 2 big frags. Oh, and Onur's going to be taken out.
Yeah, but not before taking those 2. That was really, really key, as now Meseeks player Denisius in a 1 versus 3 finds the first opponent, missing the shot, and Genius has no fear in his body, went all the way in, takes that kill, and that's gonna make it even 5-5. And in this round 11, Meseeks are trying not to choke what could have been a quote-unquote easy game after how well they executed their defensive role. Now Denisio is gonna be dying really, really early to the hands of Onur. Make it a 4 versus 4 because General Gore immediately answers back. We have Meseeks back onto defending. Can they actually go back to the way they were playing on the first half?
You know what? It's a very good question. Denisio dropping doesn't give me much faith, but Gore, as you mentioned earlier, fight for that sniper role as well. He could definitely level things out, as he did find 1 with Leader. Going to be a huge factor now, as the push is going to be held back. The spawn side of Onur up top market could be a factor here on the attacking side. Need to find 1 more pick before they commit to a site. Raid going to be in a compromised spot. 2 players in Delhi could spot him out there on that statue tank. That might be the info that... Nope, they're not. Fahim's going to be there, but he's not actually going to peek out, so Doesn't have the equipment necessary to make the move. Hez, however, does have a Val as well. So, Gore, as I mentioned earlier, and you mentioned earlier, a great sniper talent. Ray Gathelia actually gonna come through. Oh my God, how did Ray come through unscathed like that? Storm drops the ball. Gathelia picks up 2. Bomb is in his hands, but only Hez to deal with. Hez finds 1 massive frag, but he's still got 2 other players to deal with, and that's Gathelia and Raid. Raid, obviously, one of the best players in EU, as well as Gathelia, who has... Oh my God, 20 seconds, plays a little bit of time there. But now we're going to see Gathelia recover and is actually going to get this bomb plant down a second time successfully.
Yeah, that's going to be good for Gallant. Esports now has, with all the pressure in his body, 1 versus 2. Less than 40 seconds on the clock. No more second chances. He's all alone trying to defuse this bomb. He's going to spot the first enemy, trying to go for that kill, taking that frag onto Raid, and that's going to be a 1 versus 1. Gathelia defending. He has this head glitch position. That is going to be quite tough for Hez to fight back. 20 seconds on the clock, and Gathelia is just looking left and right. Doesn't know where his opponent is at. Haven't seen him yet. Hez has to do something and gotta do it right now. Gotta be pushing in. 8 seconds on the clock. And Gathelia takes the kill.
Yo, that was a large ass that was a large ass for Hez to clutch up. I thought he was gonna get it, but you saw that first shot from Hez. The shorty, just not that effective at range. I don't even think he got a hit marker. And unable to swap to his weapon quick enough. That's a 6-5 win, as you were just saying, bro. I was so rooting for that 1v3 clutch. It started off, he got the first frag, repositioned, got Raid. As soon as Raid went down, I was like, oh, surely Hez is going to clutch this. I don't care if he's only dropped 5 kills so far. He's got it in the bag. And sure enough, Gathelia flexing, drops 15, picks up that last and final kill. Game 3 hopes are down the drain.
Yeah, they are down the drain, and a big part of this is going to be on the hands of Gathelia. You know, 15 kills. 15 kills for Gathelia, the uncontested MVP of that game, and a huge part of Gallant Esports taking this one home in a 2-0 fashion.
Guys, don't be bashing Hez like that, bro. Dude literally took out 2 of the better players on that Gallant roster. Pushed up, found Gathelia. Obviously, he was cracked off of something today. He dropped 15 in the search. He wanted to win. He didn't want to see that Game 3 as much as I didn't want to see that Game 3 on that map particular. I wanted to see a Game 3, but it's just not on a Hackeyard. And sure enough, they were able to clutch it up, and that is going to be that series in the bag. That is going to give 20 points to Gallant Esports as we take a look at the standings. Obviously, you know, these guys weren't fighting for a spot in the top 6 and just fighting for seeding placement. Right now, Gallant Esports sitting pretty at 4. Aphelion up top with 110. Meseeks going to be sitting stagnant with that 85 points. And now our matchup of the night is about a little underway for it. It's Stamina and Anarchy, as we're going to get geared up for that series. That should be... This is a blessing, bro. We've had a little bit of delay from, you know, the Qlash forfeit, but I mean, you see it here, bro. All the action is live. We've got our highlight matchup of the night, by far one of the best series to come along, but it's ultimately going to depend on the guys over at Anarchy. What team's going to show up today? Are they going to be able to spoil that #1 spot for Stamina, who we just saw? Nova Esports gets that 20 points from the forfeit. They were able to, you know, put up the first place numbers there. But all Stamina need is just one game. They don't need to win the series in order to take first place because Stamina beat Nova in the regular season. So plenty to come around, and I think it would be break time. What do you think, Gil?
Well, yeah, I think we might have to rest for a couple minutes. It's not going to be as long as the last time. We promised it was just because of issues. Yeah. Come on now.
Okay. I promise it won't be a 30-minute intermission. I'll just say that. I won't say it will be a quick break because we all know what quick breaks mean in mobile Mayhem EU scene. My quick is like 2 to 3 minutes. EU's quick is like 10 to 15 minutes. All right, so we're going to take a short intermission. We'll be right back, all right? Knock, knock. Who's there? Stage 4 rematch. Anarchy and Stamina. That was the worst setup for a joke of all time, but I gotta say, the butt end of the joke is the fact that you guys get an Anarchy Stamina matchup in front of us. Gil, I gotta hear from you, bro. This series has big implications, not only for, Stage 4, rematch type, but also for regular season seeding purposes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Stamina in here, holding the chance to, well, be on that top 1 seed. And at the same time, if you think about it this way, Verdict, potentially if we have Stamina winning 2-0, that would also mean that they would face them again on the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Is that, I mean, eventually if they pass on to that same seed?
Yeah, I think that is actually lining up in part to the fact of how the brackets go. I'm not 100% sure what's the mix. I do see. Actually, I think we do have it for us to show. I don't know if it's 100% supposed to be displayed, but I'm taking a look at it. Aphelion have a quarterfinals guaranteed slot. Obviously, the seeding works out for them. Stamina at the moment are going to be at the top as well. We'll get that 100% figured out, so I won't display it for now. But what I will display is phenomenal best of 3 rotation as we got that pulled up. Starting the action off with a little bit of heat there in the cold. The snow side map of Summit. Hardpoint where the action going to start off, and you know, going to jump right over to some sunny views over at firing range. Surely going to be a banger. And then we're going to end things off on a gloomy map, which is Takeoff Domination, one of Day's favorite reskins from the Stadium map. Domination Takeoff, much better than a Domination Hackeyard, in my opinion. The vetoes. Yeah. This is where it gets interesting. I'm looking at it. Anarchy doesn't get a ban in, which I'm not 100% sure why they didn't. Not 100% sure, but Annihilator as well as the Sparrow are going to be out of play. Stamina obviously banning that Crossfire map. If I was Stamina, I would have probably rolled with Crossfire, because if you get Anarchy on a Crossfire Search or Destroy, that might be an easy dub right there. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, you messed it up? Oh, yeah. The bracket's not good to say, so it's the wrong way around. So I'm not going to show anybody brackets right now. We'll get it figured out before we display it by the end of the stream. Yes, we will have that information for you guys live then, but also got to give a shout out to Mo, dude. I know I said I was going to make a big ordeal about him coming through and gifting subs. Much love, homie. Absolutely love the vibes. Glad you came through, keeping the morale up in chat. You're a real one, bro. A true homie indeed. Absolutely love it. Appreciate all that you do for the scene. Just phenomenal. Got a little hyped up for that Stage 4 rematch, though. So, obviously, that's that's also important, too. So, we're going to keep the good vibes rolling, as I do believe Anarchy has banned Crossfires. Oh, my God, Ronan. What in the absolute world are you doing, bro? You're selling Verdict left and right. Bruh.
Anarchy banned Crossfire and the Sparrow, while Stamina couldn't get a map ban, but they did ban the Annihilator. So Verdict, the kinetic shield that you so much love, is gonna be an option open for everyone to take.
Yep, you know that is gonna be a few factors to keep in mind as this series pops off. You won't see an Annihilator or a Sparrow. You'll see the kinetic armor, but we'll put it in a situational stance here. If your opponent gets a Goliath, they are damn near impossible to take down without either of those score streaks. So we'll keep the kinetic armor in mind, as it's going to be a lot more frequent. But we also keep in mind that the Goliath could be a factor in this series. And with the Summit Hardpoint, a lot of places for that Goliath to take an advantage, especially on a P3 rotation. Not necessarily P1 or P2, but you get it in the mix and get it into the wrong hands could be devastating. So we are good to go. Ronan, you don't have to sell me any further. You can go ahead and start that bad boy up.
Let's go. Like you mentioned, starting off cold, it is Summit Hardpoint game number 1 match between Anarchy and Stamina about to begin. Who do we start spectating here, Verdict?
Oh, we got to give props to the guys over at Stamina. They have been unbeaten all season long. This is an opportunity for them to, continue that reign of terror. Anarchy going to have an opportunity to redeem themselves here after a mediocre season, I'll say, and that's me being fair. This is their opportunity to step up to some giants and handle adversity well. Not going to do a great job, as the kill feed's all going to be racking up. It's going to be in favor of Stamina. They're going to be able to pick up 4 easy and some point time to go along with it. Viri going to find one for himself, but Shift going to be dropped, and Grizz going to be able to get the refrag. Now we're going to start to see a little bit of fragging power from the Anarchy squad as the contest comes through. Kike up top, Don up top as well, and man, it's not looking good at all for Anarchy to start things off with.
Yeah, so far they just couldn't get their hands more than a couple seconds in. Finally, they make a 4-player push inside of this control area. Shift was alive there for a while, eventually had to give in, and Anarchists are inside of the OBJ for a little while, but eventually once again, we're gonna have Stamina just causing so much trouble to this Anarchy roster, who can't get too much of a handle inside of this game number 1. As we move forward for point 2, the rotation seems to be in here favoring the players over at Anarchy, but let's see for how long. As I see everyone's rotations in, Miney with a shotty is gonna be in the top area, getting a double, but then getting blown up by Inferno. Miney, as per usual, a heavy player of this shotgun KRM, gonna be using it in here, finding a kill, using that kinetic shield and pushing onto the backline of the opponents.
Yep, we are going to see that P2 get a heavily contested. So far, so good for both teams. 40 points to 27, as we do see the push come through. Stamina have the advantage for this point, but I'm looking at it. Narc's going to be taken down. Don actually going to get a free kill, but as soon as he dies, look where Narc's actually spawned at. It's going to be on the south side of the map. That's going to be towards P3. Maybe not the best cheeky kill to come along with, but nonetheless, the rotations are on point for Anarchy. They're going to be down by about 10 points. Have no fear. Actually, 10 plus points, as I see about 6 seconds. I thought it said 5. I was clearly wrong, and I might be blind there. What I am not blind to is the fact that we won't have comms permission, so nobody listening into VCs at the moment for either of the series. It's obviously going to have a lot to do with what's around the corner, and that's stage 5. Both teams going to be participating, and now both teams going to be participating here in P3 as 3 players push in for Stamina. A stout defense there from the guys over at Anarchy.
Yeah, right now they are there. First, Drari was trying to get his way there, but not gonna work out. Shift is also another player from Stamina trying to push inside, but the defense from Anarchy seems a bit good. Not bad at all, actually, for the first initial seconds. Kike is receiving a lot of damage, but his allies are there to help him out. The defense from Anarchy is finally paying off heavily, as they are under control for the first time here. And continuing this same amount of control, seems like Stamina realized that Anarchy's way to be here was too dominant, and rotated all the way around towards the next point. Also want to mention, the other day we saw Grease rocking that R90, sorry. Well, today he's gonna be doing so again. Not to the same success as the other day, but, you know, this game's still not over for them.
No, it's not. They're gonna double down. Stamina making the wise investment. Double down. Set up for that P4. You take, you know, about a 30-point hit deficit to recover, and you're easily going to be able to do it as long as you hold those spawns. They realized that, and the amount of awareness was on point, but how the hell did Don get back there? Did he spawn? This is where those hardpoints are wonky, bro. Like, literally all 5 players from Stamina. Nobody pushed up past that little plow, or not the plow, but the forklift. And sure enough, you know, they get absolutely violated for that. The spawn's not going to favor them now. They're actually going to be bottom snow side. Talking about unique spawns, if you mean unique as in dumb and broken, absolutely. That was no need for any of the Anarchy players to spawn up, but a great recovery there for the guys over at Stamina as they prevail up top. The sentry gun place, I'm not 100% sure who did it, but it's in the backside. It actually gets taken down. It was on the backside of the back plow spawn, so, you know, a little bit of unfortunate timing for Stamina, but they are always available to recover, as they did get a little bit of time there on P4, but not enough to take the advantage again. And now P1 reset's going to come through, and Anarchy going to be able to capitalize on a little bit of hill time themselves.
Yeah, back and forward matchup with only a 5-point gap between one another that is easily redeemable for either of the two. It seems like we are back on point number 1, and the control is, for, as of right now, favoring the Anarchy roster. Mine is making a defense with that shorty, making sure that they don't go through, or at least that they are not getting closer, but eventually he falls and everyone can walk by. One of them is going to be Narcs with a shorty who picks up a kill and immediately goes for a second one. Can he clear that area? This is the moment of truth for both teams. Less than 50 points are needed on each side. So every single second that you're giving in to your opponents is going to be heavily hurting your odds of actually taking this game. And we are on point number 2. Point number 2 still favoring the overall standings for Anarchy, but Stamina are just shy behind.
They are, and I got to give it to my guys over at Anarchy doing a great job. More importantly, Donlai. I made a comment earlier. I said a big fan of Donlai and Viri. I should have said a huge fan for Donlai and not Kike. Kike putting up some numbers, but not like Don popping off at the moment. 23, doing some great OBJ work. Man's doing God's work right now. Is clearing off the hill. Is going to get a little bit of help there from Kike as Kike finishes it off. Grizz there on the contest, shut down. Still Shift able to make something shake here. Miney, oh my God, Miney, the moves, the dip, the dab, putting players on ice. 147, only 3 points are needed, and it's going to come down to the wire. Anarchy take a massive P2 and a massive dub over Stamina, starting things off right, 150 to 108. Hell of a game there. Don, don't you dare disrupt chat and say GG's, bro. I just saw him doing chat, bro. Don't you be that guy. Don't you do it.
Yeah, I saw that too. Okay. So far, so good. Seems like he's chilling, but where he was not chilling was in game. Over 100 seconds inside of the objective, 26 kills, and only dying 18 times. Like, Dawn just rocking their enemy's world.
Oh, absolutely. Minute and 17 to go along with it. That is picture-perfect MVP stats for my guy, Donlai. I retract my statement that I made earlier. I'm no longer a big fan of Donlai. I'm a mega fan, bro. An absolute animal coming through when it matters the most. Step Brothers over at Anarchy prevail. But I still got to say Stamina, who have been so consistent throughout this season, are going to give them a run for their money here in the next Search and Destroy game. But, you know, give some credit where credit is due. 1 minute and 3 for Creed, 22 and 20 on the flip side of things. Stamina not necessarily putting up the numbers they needed to compete, but I got to say you got to have a little bit more commitment to the objective. And we saw it in P1. Didn't necessarily transpire over to that P2. P4 is where things got rocky for Stamina. You get a massive amount of kills going in your side, and you get rewarded with nothing. The spawn sites get compromised. We could have had a different game, but with the way that Anarchy were able to capitalize on that P1 and P2, I don't know if it would have necessarily made a difference, but it would have definitely given the advantage back in favor of Stamina, which it should have. The fact of the matter is, Anarchy got blessed with those spawns, and were able to contest. They didn't receive a lot of points off of it, but what they did do was they did hold their opponents off of it, not giving them the advantage, and that's exactly what, you know, Anarchy needed to feel that P1 start.
And, well, now both teams have to start thinking about their next game. Search and Destroy on firing range should be as interesting as this first one was. And, well, you said at the beginning of this match that, of course, Stamina only needs a single victory in order for them to get onto the top 1 seeding. And, well, Anarchy is not going to make it any easy. They already took game number 1. I'm sure they want to close it out just as quickly as possible in a 2-0 fashion. So, I'm not sure. Do you think Anarchy has what it takes to actually go on a 2-0 against a team that previously to today, at least, has not been defeated?
You know, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Anarchy last season was so clutch in Search and Destroy. This season, I haven't seen it. With that knowledge alone, I've seen that factor in Stamina be able to come back in games like this massively. But Kike actually going to pick up the first kill, which is massive. That's going to be Grizz dropping. Grizz not necessarily one of those top competitors in a Search and Destroy format. Narcs is, however. Narcs actually going to be concussed here. Don actually on the rotation in. Oh my God, gets a drop. And now it's only 2 players left. Drari and Inferno look to pick up the pieces. They're not going to be able to do it. Inferno is going to be in a 1v5 scenario. That Morningstar with 60-round mag, not even going to be a factor. Not even going to be able to shoot off 1 bullet as 2 players converge on his location. That was a stout Search and Destroy round there for the guys over at Anarchy.
Yeah, really quick round and really well executed for this Stamina roster now. I am now going to be looking at Bear. Bear right now is the one sniping. Kike got the first blood. Barry is trying to make a defense. Miney takes another kill. Actually, maybe Barry was not the right call. Maybe it was, as he lands a shot onto Inferno. Is this going to be another clean round for them? Oh, Barry takes another kill. It's not going to be a perfect round as Nox picks a kill, but quickly gets taken down himself. 2 rounds verdict, and only 1 kill has been favoring Stamina so far.
Yo, Anarchy doing a great job of applying pressure. As a matter of fact, I was kind of, nervous for them going into this game, as Dominate or Search and Destroy on this map alone is one of Stamina's, if not best, one of the better maps that they play Search on. They play Search so very well on a multitude of maps. This map in particular, though, because you got the sniping power and the fragability of both Inferno and Narcs. Grizz gonna drop yet again. Miney gonna pick up that first blood and for the team, but is just only gonna even things out. Oh my god, the shots. Drari drops top wood, not safe. Inferno looking to get the refrags, not gonna be able to get one, but is gonna be able to get Viri there. Kike might get obliterated, waiting for the push in. Only one place he can be if he's not up top, that's down low, and sure enough, down low too slow for Viri, or Kike rather. And now the shoes are on the other foot. 2 rounds in a row. Miney looking to make it 3, but Inferno doing a great job of getting the refrags in favor of his team.
3 versus 2. Miney and Donley. Miney finds that shot onto Inferno. Donley still alive. Don, let's see what he can do. The bomb is currently being planted over at A. So there's going to be 45 seconds for Don and Miney to try to defuse it. Don is quite close to the opponents right there on the trailer area. He could potentially try to break through if he wanted to, but they are taking their time. Miney is going through the other end. Miney gets there. His ally does too, but it doesn't work out. The collective push between the two just didn't work at all.
No,
they both got annihilated, and Stamina finally able to wake up.
Yeah, that trailer push was shut down real quick. Shift and Narcs do a great job of holding point. They get the bomb down. They played objective very well, and this is a great way for them to recover here as we're going to be moving in. 2-1 advantage still for Anarchy. But a little bit of a reality check there. We mentioned how well the guys who were at Stamina have played Search and Destroy. That was, a little bit of that display. Don, don't lie, bro. You know what you're doing over there. Finds first blood for his team. Inferno, a massive frag. Inferno's one of those players you've got to take out early in order to make something happen here. And a great job so far. Miney going to be able to get the refrag. Grizz getting outplayed with his weapon of choice. That was a shotgun on shotgun action. Miney able to win that one again. 6 kills on board. Seeing him snipe, absolutely love it. Creed and Kike going to combine for 1. Kike going to get the kill, but Narc still alive. Finds his 3rd. Donlai out in the open, makes the full-on flank rotation in, and we're going to see a 2v3. Kike on the push is going to get some shots out on Narcs, but he has to be worried of Shift here. His location is a bit compromised, but is going to be able to play his life. The pressure's going to come through. Creed up top, Kike down low. Narcs, oh my god, you're disgusting, Narcs. Now that is going to be an even 2v2 matchup. Miney gets, oh my god, American not safe.
I think most of us could have expected this round to go in favor of Anarchy. Well, we got something completely different as Narcs and Shift closed that one up. In a big way because of how many kills Narcs was getting, he was just left and right killing enemies all over the place. And now Stamina have even numbers out, dropping 2 rounds in a row. Narcs takes that initial kill onto none other than Don. Don is down, and so is now that key player from Anarchy today. The other one being Miney right now with 6 kills. He's going to continue those snipes. He's currently just waiting to see if he can find anyone. I think he spotted someone on a trailer, and he's now going to be defending that area. As Barry also took a snipe, this is going to be a 4 versus 4.
Is indeed. Miney holding down American well, is going to peek the front door, but doesn't expect Shift to go ahead and get that bomb plant down. We got a 4v4 retake. Will Anarchy have what it takes to make sure it happens? Miney looking to lead the way, takes some shots, gets a nade down. Shift still holding that site. Grizz does a great job of picking up his first frag. Kike on the return. Inferno inside of trailer's going to be spotted. Miney looking to make the push in. Very going to clear out 1. Good collective push. Now Grizz is all on his own. Very there. Very. Shots don't miss, and Kike and the guys over at, or I'm sorry, The Step Brothers over at Anarchy able to take a 3-2 advantage. We'll be flipping sides. Are they going to be able to continue this domination and be able to close this series out into? We got a stage 4 rematch on our hands, and it is not looking good so far for Stamina. But I got to say, they've got the perseverance. They've got the power. Now they're on the defense. We'll see if they can handle business.
Let's see if they can. Both teams are now on the other ends. We are going to have, okay, see Creed being quite aggressive alongside with his squad, moving towards for that push. Dawn is the one who finds an opponent completely unaware at first. Inferno ends up dying. Miney gets a snipe, but he gets killed himself by Drory. The bomb has been planted though. Narx takes another kill to even numbers out. This is going to be a 3 versus 3. Narx is yet again sniping and currently trying to get his way onto the bomb. His ally Drory though getting taken out by Creed. This is going to be a 2v4 now. Shift in a good situation. He could potentially make a push against Dawn, but Dawn was just too sneaky. But Narx with the snipe takes that kill, goes for another one, but eventually chokes himself, and that's gonna be turning into a 1v1. Barry and Shift, only 8 seconds on the clock. Barry has now realized that they are defusing. Tries to go in,
Barry!
and on the last second, Barry.
Oh, Fury, why did you have to
the
spoil the
snipe.
bomb, defuse, bro? I got to give it to him. I don't think there was any other way you play that. Shift makes the push, clears his sight, no one there to contest. Veery creeps up like a bandit in the night, man. Never knew it was going to happen. Sure enough, the bomb does not get defused. Now we got a 4-2 Anarchy on top. So far, so good for them. But I got to say, Stamina still have a dog in the fight. Drory making his case right there as he picks up first blood. Grizz taking down Creed. Now Don able to pick up 1, but the numbers are in. 2-for-1 trade. Shift able to pick up his second. Veery able to get another refrag there too, but man, power still in favor of the guys over at Stamina. Bombs down. That's a long. Miney and Veery not going to have a play on it right now, but they still got a little bit of time, a minute and a half. Veery evening things out. Finds to go Inferno, and now it is another 2v2 scenario here for Narx and Shift. They're going to have to play it collectively. They're going to have to play it patiently. Got to wait for the moves to come through. Veery clears the site. Miney able to pick up on that, and they are going to make that push for the bomb.
Once again, like you mentioned, 2 versus 2, 1 minute on the clock. The bomb currently on the ground, but not being defended by anyone, so easily a pickup for Barry. Barry wanted to take part of the cool kids with a huge amount of kills. Well, now he's going to be the one with 8 kills in this game, immediately planting that bomb. Problem is that Shift was on the other end, and so was Narx, who got that snipe. Shift takes the final kill. That is gonna be the 3rd round in favor of Stamina, but not all the time is looking too hot for them, you know? Sometimes it tends to be a bit of a struggle for them to end up with a dub on these rounds.
Yeah. It's been a hell of a banger here so far. We're getting down to the wire here. Search and Destroy coming in hot and heavy. Miney's got 8 on board. Narx on the flip side of things got 9. Drory actually going to be spotted right here. Oh, easy kills from Miney. 1 shot, 1 kill, 1 thrust of the shorty. Absolutely violating. Drory tries to play that sneak roll. Does get taken down, but Shift able to pick up the refrag. Bomb's going to be collected. Don going to be able to do the deed, and Miney doing what Miney does best, and that is putting on a show for us to see. 10 kills on board. Miney just absolutely crazy cracked with the sniper. Now Grizz and, or not Grizz at all. Inferno and Narx absolutely going to be able to pick up this 2v4. It's going to be a hell of one to do. This is going to be match point if Anarchy is able to take the bag. They put the bomb down. The advantage in their favor. Narx! Where did you come from, bro? They was right there on the B side. I wasn't even recognizing it. And I don't think anybody from the guys over at Anarchy knew what to do with it.
Really expected for the smoke.
Yeah, dude, he came to the right in the smoke. I was actually spectating Narx's point of view, and sure enough, he was right there on the action, but does get taken down. Veery going to spot Inferno. This is going to be a tough one. Surely Anarchy going to be able to take it to match point here.
Yeah, right now they're just playing waiting game while playing it smart. Don hiding behind that bomb so he can get the head glitch. Banished takes that round in favor of Anarchy, and Verdict Stamina are 1 round away from their first loss this season.
They are, man. This is 1 round away. You got to be perfect here. Stamina played so very well. Now you got a little bit of adversity. Can you make the reverse come through? You got 2 rounds you need to clutch up. Inferno actually going to be able to find 1. Inferno going to be able to find 2. No, that's going to be Don picking up his 9th. He top fragged in the Hardpoint. He's doing a great job so far in the search. Just 1 kill under Mighty. Mighty popped off way early on here and has picked up a few to go along with it since. Creed going to be 1 shot. A-Long, not safe, bro. Can't make that push. Narc's going to clear the path mid. And now the bomb's still in the hands of Kike. I got to say, Grizz in a very aggressive spot here. Catches anybody pushing out through mid is going to be interesting. Does push through. Gets the drop on Mighty. Oh. Mighty goes down, but Kike 1-for-1 trades. Make that 2-for-1 as I did see Drari pick up 1. In a little bit of a convincing fashion here. Stamina looking to take us to another round. Gonna have to find 2, and that's gonna be Kike and Don.
Yeah, Kike and Don trying to survive for their lives. As the bomb carrier is Kike, he may have been approaching this B area. So far, not doing so. Using the whole gun as patch shift, completely unaware of the presence of his enemy. Now Kike gonna be trying to plant the bomb, but Narcs was there. Narcs takes the kill. Now that's a 1v1. Drari misses the first shot, takes out the shorty, tries to go in, but Don is nasty with the shorty, takes that kill. Only it takes Verdicts to get Stamina their first loss in such a dominant way. Like, it was not perfect at all, let's be realistic, but Anarchy just playing fantastic are gonna defeat Stamina 2-0.
You know, I made a claim last night. I was talking to my guy Frog on stream. He was asking me, who do you think the best team in EU is? And I was like, bro, I don't know if I can give you a direct answer, but I'll tell you one thing. That Stage 4 Anarchy team was by far one of the most dynamic teams to watch. One of the most dynamic teams to cast. I haven't seen that team all season. We see that team right here, 2 games in a row. That is the Anarchy I knew. That's the Anarchy that I saw on the come-up last season. About 2 weeks in, Dave was like, bro, Anarchy, you got to watch them, dude. You can't discount them. They're on a come-up. Just watch them. And I was like, yeah, whatever, bro. Casually, I said, okay, I'll be sure to watch them. You know, I dismissed him so quickly, and I was so wrong for that. Why? Because Stage 4 champions are right here. Stage 4 champions here in this best-of-3 format. They take out a team who has been flawless this whole season, hasn't lost a single series, only lost 2 maps. And they take them out, give them 2 more to deal with. First series loss. Anarchy going to be able to take that 20 points. Anarchy are the talk of the town right now, but I still got to say, Stamina looking pretty up there at the top in that second place spot. But with the way that Anarchy's playing right now, my guy, I'd be fearful if I'm any team in EU, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I say that,
Absolutely.
and I've actually been looking at Nova. Nova's pretty fearful too, bro. They are dynamic, even on the Xperias.
This season is just crazy, dude. Like, so many good teams, so many good players, and, well, seems like we are not going to be done with the regular season, but the playoffs, like, I'm really looking forward for those. Absolutely.
Oh, you are absolutely right, my guy. As we're taking a look at the results here, hell of a season, bro. Gil came through. I got to stop. We're not done with the stream yet, but I got to stop. Gil, you have been phenomenal. I appreciate you for stepping in. Obviously, Imperium had other obligations. We're not going to hold him to that. We got blessed with your abilities to come through and just be on point with the cast, man. You were phenomenal. I knew you were a talent when I first saw you on stream about a year and a half ago, bro. And I did not think it would get this far with us. You know, for me in particular, you know, for you as well, I knew you had the talent. Bro, stepping in a major way, and I appreciate you.
Hey, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I really enjoy all of this thing. You know, I have a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you guys take me in consideration to be able to step in whenever is needed, you know? Much love to you guys.
Much love to you too, brother. As we take a look at, if you're just now joining in, looking at the results from the day, that's right, guys. We're capping it off with the results from the very last day of the fall 2021 season for Mobile Mayhem EU side of things. Aphelion fall shy to Bunker Esports to take the 2-1 win. Nova gets the easy 2-0 forfeit win of Qlash not being able to produce players in Meseeks EU. After a hell of a run there in the search and the hardpoint, Gallant Esports just 2 OP. 2-0 for them. Stamina, saw it, haven't lost a single series this season. Still hold them to a high standard. I know they hold themselves to a high standard. They are still going to be your number 2 seed as we'll take a look at the standings as well. Anarchy, bro, that's that stage 4 energy right there. Obviously, we're still in regular season mobile mayhem. Is it a big deal? Probably not, but is it a big deal for them? Regardless of who they're playing, absolutely. They needed that. That was the one that needed them to put back up their standings, put them back up in morale, put them back up, and put them in that focus mission to perform in Stage 5. They've got a sweaty Group B to deal with. They need all the practice they can get moving forward, and that 2-0 win was very convincing. Aphelion was played off stream. They take down Noxious Blood, who also rebranded to Illuminati EU, as you can see on screen. And guys, we've got our brackets ready for our standings ready. Actually, let's take a look at standings. 155. Nova up top. They're your number 1 seed. Once again, they're no strangers to this point. They've done it 3 seasons in a row prior to last season. Could have been 4, but Anarchy coming through with a fire. Stamina. All they needed was 1, right? Anarchy didn't give it to them. Anarchy took that series 2-0. That was one of the best 2-0s I've seen from Anarchy in a very long time, and a much-needed one for them.
Well, so we are going to be done with the games today, but such a way to do it. I am questioning, did we get a chance to look at the brackets on stream? Or
I was just about to pull that up. We are in sync, my
There
guy.
you
I'll
go.
be Justin Timberlake. You can be whoever else is in the band. I don't remember anybody else. But you can be Justin too, I guess. We'll be bringing Sexy back here with this bracket. Aphelion and Meseeks EU. Ooh. 2 Titans right there. 1 team on the come up, 1 team on a redemption tour. Anarchy and Gallant Esports. Bro, talk about the practice that was needed. Anarchy take down Stamina, hand them their only loss of the regular season. Now they're going to have to duke it out with Gallant Esports due to points. I'm going to be honest with you. Anarchy didn't start the season off strong, and that's probably where, they find themselves here. Maybe this was strategical for them. Maybe they tank at the beginning of the season, get the toughest bracket to come along with it. Got Stage 5 around the corner. That's going to be the toughest group that they are part of. I don't know if you've seen it. Stage 5, Group B. That's where dreams go to die, bro. You don't want to be in that bracket. And now, Anarchy, in the face of adversity, going to have a solid bracket here to work with. They got to take down Gallant Esports. If they do, they're going to have to find themselves another win against a Stamina team who are surely going to be focused and pissed at the same time. Who knows? We'll see how it pans out, though.
we'll see how it pans out. So everybody better check all that action once it starts. But of course, we gotta run through a couple more days for us to get there, though. Couple more days still.
Couple more days indeed. We're gonna be back live on Tuesday. I'm not sure if 100% of Imperium is gonna be back in full effect. If not, I'm sure we'll find somebody available. If it's not Gil, it's Day. We love Gil. We love Day. Gonna give them equal opportunities. But Imperium, big sexy daddy coming back maybe. Might even see him in a maid costume. Verdict leaking? Nope. At any rate, we're gonna get geared up for a raid. Yeah, Gil said he's gonna do a maid costume too. Is that what you just said?
What? No, what?
Mi nombre is Brian. No, that wasn't.
Mi llamo is Brian.
Mi llamo is Brian. There we go. All right, we're gonna get geared up for a raid. Speaking of showing love today, we're gonna go ahead and send you over that way. He's got the Vanguard grind on. I'll probably join him. I won't be streaming, but show him some love. Tell him the bot verdict sent you, and also tell him he sucks at Vanguard. I'm just kidding. Tell him the Magnum sucks at Vanguard, because it does. GG's, guys. Don't go to where a raid day now.